Hey guys, I'm Rachel Castile and welcome to Typology Corner. Today I'm continuing the OP type series, just breaking down all of the types. And today we're doing ESFP. I'll be detailing the standard type as well as the jumper type. So just to kind of break that down a little bit, the jumpers are skipping their second function as their decision making in this particular type, and they are jumping to the third and using extroverted thinking as opposed to the normal introverted feeling that's in Myers-Briggs kind of like configuration. So we're going to jump over and look at that now. Here's a visual aid to kind of help you see that. So the ESFP, we've got our standard type at the top and then our jumper type. The savior functions of the ESFP standard type is the first two, just like Myers-Briggs kind of articulates it to be. That being extroverted sensing, introverted feeling, then extroverted thinking, introverted intuition. And our jumper is using this tribe function more so than the identity, being in touch with their own values. You've got a person who is more in touch with the tribe, like what works for the tribe, you know? So yeah, that's I guess to start off, I'm just going to talk about the ESFP. They lead with extroverted sensing as their dominant function. So they are a dominant observer type. They're very open to new information. They're attuned to the five senses, the data, the facts of the situation. They're much more inclined to lock on to that more so than like intuitive information about what they're experiencing. They're just enjoying new experiences, just going out and enjoying themselves, having a good time, enjoying a new experience. I guess it all kind of summarizes in that, but like just going to festivals or trying new food, going out, on the water, just whatever, something that's engaging their five senses in a new way. That extroverted sensing as a dominant process just makes new like novelty sort of things really enjoyable to this type, as well as the ESTP. So the ESTP and the ESFP both lead with the same cognitive process. And yeah, it makes them gatherers. They're gatherers of new information. They want to know what they don't know, right? They're not so much into what they already know. There will always be that intrigue leading them back out into the extroverted world to bring in new stuff, whether it's consuming information, reading something, traveling, going somewhere they haven't been, trying food they haven't tried before, or, they can get tired of routine. Things that's very repetitive can be boring to them easily if they don't find some way to still stimulate that dominant process. Yeah, to kind of add some spice to their life. They are inclined to satisfy that dominant process. So going down from there, they've got introverted feeling, which is about their personal values, their own moral code, like what they personally, deemed to be good or deemed to be bad, and staying true to their own moral code. The standard ESFP is using that introverted feeling as their main decision making function. So something else on that, let me think. It's being in tune with what they like, what they dislike. It's just it's an identity process. So it's what is meaningful to them, not so much the spectrum of the other people, but checking in with the self, knowing the value system of the individual, knowing what, hits home for them. They're in tune with their own emotional state, how they personally feel, and checking in with that often to kind of guide their life, to make a decision of, whatever it is, on the people that they run with, or the careers they choose, or it could apply to everything, the type of decor they like in their house, what sports they like, what things they don't like. And it's very easy for a person who prioritizes FI to kind of turn on a dime and say no to something that the group wants, because they're like, I don't want that. I don't think that's good. And I'm sticking true to my own identity on this. Um, yeah, they live according to their own emotional state, in a sense, being true to it. Um, they are very emotional people. It's more tucked away, though. It's not as expressed and easily seen as much as it would be with an extroverted feeling type. But they're living according to it. They're staying true to their own right and wrong, or likes and dislikes. It can be like, I'm attracted to this and I'm repelled. And that's just something that they know. They know what they're drawn to, they know what they're not drawn to, and they navigate life according to that very easily. This process complements that dominant process that keeps them just kind of out, wanting to experience new things, engaging, loving to interact with the world around them in a very non-judgmental kind of way. They're just receptive to new information, new things coming in. They're receiving those new facts, and it's getting filtered down to their judging process, that decider, that introverted feeling of what is right and wrong for them. What do I like? I want what I like in my life, and what I don't like, I don't want that in my life as much. And they start to filter things out with that judging process secondarily, but their dominant process is just an open process to the world around them that keeps them kind of exploring and looking around and gathering more in. And then the tertiary process is that extroverted thinking. I'm going to switch back over just to kind of get a visual. So yeah, the third process in the standard ESFP is considered a demon. So the first two were saviors. It's very easy to do SEFI beginning, and these don't get chosen as much. They're not as relied upon in comparison. So TE in the standard type is something that they have access to. They see this can kind of manifest as being good at like setting up systems for the group, seeing what works for everyone. And it can be a really great function in a work environment, in managing people, or just getting things to work efficiently, checking in with people, hearing what works for everybody, hearing the tribe's reasons for things, their logical reasons, and setting up something that will flow and will work well for everyone. They do have that process, but your standard type is more inclined to make decisions and stay true to their own personal values and be guided by that. They'll, be a part of things that hit home for them. There's a cause that really hits their introverted feeling that matters to them. This matters in life, and do a career or something based on that introverted feeling value system. They could be really into animals, or really care about, human trafficking, or whatever their heart is really attached to, and being guided by that. And then this kind of comes in secondarily to make decisions, but they're still guided by wherever FI kind of led them, your standard ESFP. And so yeah, but this function has them in tune with what is working for people, setting things up in a way that will work for the whole group. And that's something that, can come to the table in whatever chosen area they've gone to, that they'll bring this gifting forward and be able to set up good organizational systems for everyone, and keep tweaking it and making it more efficient. Yeah, but it's still a demon. They have access to it, but when push comes to shove, they choose FI over the TE process. And then going down to their last function, introverted intuition, it works on an axis with the SE. So it's the weakest of them all in terms of what is chosen most often. So it's not that they don't have access to it. It's just that much more of a demon process if, they're going all in on the sensory information, needing the facts, needing to hear all the details, proving with the facts. The pattern, they'll notice patterns in things from all of the information collected, but they still primarily rely on the details and all of the evidence more so than the underlying pattern of what's going on or seeing where their future's going. It can be very easy for types who lead with extroverted sensing to not really keep a consistent path going forward for their life, and being so open to new information, new experiences. It can be difficult in that wiring to stay consistent and to commit to something specific and to walk in a particular direction and to follow that through for years and years and years on to reach those bigger goals in a sense. So really personal growth for an ESFP is to get in touch with what they really, really want deep down and to stay on a path to get there and to be able to say no to the momentary changes or whims that pop up that, would cause them to not really head off in a particular direction to a particular future, or also just not trusting their intuitions that pop up about something, about what's going on in a situation, seeing the underlying pattern behind things, the cause and effect and things. It's more of a demon. So it's not that they don't have it. They just wind up going back to trusting all the facts, all the evidence, gathering in more information to prove their points and stuff like that. So that's a bit of a picture of a standard ESFP. So coming down here to the ESFP that is a jumper type, as you can see, this inner world is more of a demon, and you have a more extroverted ESFP who is jumping their internal process and spending much more time on checking in with the tribe, seeing what works for everyone, and being more efficient and making decisions based on the people around them more so. And my dog is rolling around in here making noise. He's distracting me. But anyways, so the TE is like checking in with people. It's understanding what works for everybody, setting up systems, and they're more so, in tune with doing that and not as much in tune with like, well, what do I personally value? What matters to me? And they're more extroverted. They're spending most of their time in that extroverted world. They're spending time pinging with the tribe, being out there with people, and getting more fulfillment, I guess. Like it's a go-to to check in with people instead of to check in with the self. So these functions that are in the middle, they're both something you can see. It's just the difference between our jumper and our standard is which one feels more comfortable? Which one do they go to? What is a savior state for them? Which one makes them more uncomfortable? Like, hey, I don't really go in and find out where I am on something and then totally make decisions on that and disregard where the tribe is on a given topic or the situation. Which one led me to my decision? And just to make an emphasis, like this still, even though they're more of a thinker, they're using thinking judgments to make their decision. They're still an ESFP because this is their actual cognitive function stack. It doesn't make them become an ESTP. They are a jumper type within this function stack. And it's this extroverted thinking process that's prominent. So that's a bit of a contrast. I'm wanting to break this down in the lens or through the lens of the cognitive functions. So just to show a picture of the variety, there are two types within the ESFP. And some people are more extroverted than others. Some are kind of ambivert, kind of more used to checking in and being guided by the self, being in touch with the identity, while another type, their growth path is totally different because they're not doing that at all. And that could be helpful for them to kind of step away from that extroverted loop that they're used to being in and staying in that extroverted world, being out there with the people, being in the moment, making decisions based on what's working for everybody, setting up systems, and for as an organization, you can think of it that way. Like extroverted thinkers are really good directors. They're good leaders of organizations because they're checking in with what works for everyone? What are everybody's reasons? What does the tribe have to say on this? You could have an ESFP who's just really in touch with that. They're making decisions on it. They're more corporate in that sense. They're less in touch with the self and more in touch with how to lead this group, how to be present with this group. I'm in the moment with them. That extroverted sensing has them just very open to people. They're interactive. They're very receptive to new information. And in hearing that information, they are using that extroverted thinking to set things up for people and to make the systems that everyone uses better and better and more efficient, more effective to produce a better result. Extroverted thinking is results oriented. So it's looking at the yield of something, the results of increasing the numbers or whatever. I think a job sort of analogy works well. That this can apply to lots of things. If it's in the family, how to make the family work better, how to get the systems of the family working better, how to accommodate everybody, how to set things up in a way that everybody can plug into it and it works well as a group. Your extroverted thinker is attuned to their surroundings. It's an extroverted process, deciding on the world around you and setting up the world around you in such a way that it works for everyone. So it has that organizational quality to it. Versus your standard ESFP is way more a free spirit doing their own thing. They're in touch with themselves and they like to stay not tied down. Commitments are kind of a lot, and they like to, be able to stay free to go where they want to go. This is a dominant observer type. So as I'm breaking these things down, there is your jumper EP type is looking a little more EJ, but your classic one is that EP type that, wants to keep space for that extroverted sensing and that introverted feeling, which makes them more individualistic in comparison to your jumper type here at the bottom. But I guess what else could I add here? So the thing they have in common will be that NISE sort of gap. That is the same kind of demon either way for both types. It's, I guess, getting into personal growth for this type is creating plans and sticking to them that, embody that bigger goal in life is very good for them. Learning to trust their intuitions and, to develop their own personal knowings and organize what they've learned from the things that they've gathered to spend time organizing it, making sense of it, so that they can speak from that place or build something from what they already know and not continue to hop. Our dominant extroverted sensors can want to job hop. Oh, I need new experiences. This has gotten boring. That there is value in staying rooted in something as long as it does align with their true values, their true life direction, what they really want. It can be hard for your dominant extroverted sensors, which is your ESTP and your ESFP, to know what they really, really want deep down, to not just what they like and dislike. Your ESFP is going to know their values. Your standard type's going to be in touch with, what they like and dislike, what they, feel is right, what they feel is wrong, what they're drawn to, what they're repelled to. But what do they deep down really want? Where do they want to go with their life? What's their life direction? What do they want to accomplish in the long term? Where are they headed? That big picture is something that your ESFP needs to spend time on, whether you're a jumper or a standard type, to spend time and really get honest about what that deeper thing you really want in your life, that deeper vision. Where are you headed? What do you see for yourself? Not just what do you want in this moment, not just what you want this year, but what do you want in 10 years? Where are you really headed? What would bring that deepest fulfillment to you? To get in touch with that and then to stay on a path that's getting you there and to not fall off, or to find ways that you still can entertain your SE and it's still fun and it's not boring, but you're still headed in the direction of your deepest desires of your heart, really. So yeah, that's kind of the bigger picture of our ESFP. And growth just looks like taking a true look at your demon functions and putting more time there and getting balanced, because just looking at all of the functions, these are the four functions of ESFP. This is what they have access to very readily. The saviors are more of the addiction, and the others are left not attended to as much. So you can grow by getting around somebody who has your demon process as a savior, and it can kind of refine you or sharpen you or show you like, wow, I am avoiding that. I don't like to be in that sort of state, but I see from their life that, that's something that's helped them, and I can learn from that, or just taking time to be still to kind of snap out of this super extroversion so you can go internal and get these more developed, and it'll help you extrovert even better, and this type to come out, our standard to come out and consider the people a bit more and find balance in between these two, and to not be just so all in on only what they care about and not notice if it's even working, or for, if it's working for the people around them on that spectrum of self and tribe. So I think that is about it for our ESFP type. That's just an overview of the cognitive functions to see them really come to life within this particular type. There's a lot more to explore within really describing what the ESFP is like, but I hope this helps you understand the way you're wired and to kind of see where you fall on this spectrum, and also understand, what growth looks like for your type specifically. So if you got value out of this, go on and give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate the feedback. And if this is content that you enjoy or want to see more of, go on ahead and click the subscribe button below. I'll be rolling out more videos on the other OP types and more stuff in the future, getting into the Enneagram, which really carries a special place in my heart. That's where I really have a lot of vision for helping people overcome their past and really grow and to love themselves and to wake up to their truest self and understand their giftings and stuff. So I think all of this kind of colors together, goes together. And yeah, so that's part of my vision for this channel. Again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for your time. And I will see you on the next one. All right, take care.